So lesson one is why you should focus on listings. Now, before I share with you all the lessons and why I put them together this way, I want to say this real quick. Most agents that I coach and teach and train, they want to learn right away. They want to know, Knolly, how do I get listing leads? How do I get listing leads? That's all I want to know. Well, we're going to cover that in lesson 4, okay? Why do I save it for the end? Why? Because it's the least that you need to know. Like, most people think it's the most important thing, and it really is not. Now, leads is really the most important thing, I will say that. But how to get the leads, you're going to find it's going to be super easy if you do the right setup up front, okay? So what I really want to do is give you a bedrock, a foundation, so that you will have a rockin' listing business, a rockin' listing career, okay? Not just 1 or 2 years of success. We've all seen the agent that goes out there and gets a year or 2 of success, then they're never, they don't really have long-term sustained success. That's not going to be you, because we're setting you up right, okay? So it all starts with why you should focus on listings. Now, when I do the why, we did that last week, lesson 1. This week we're going to do lesson 2. But why you should focus on listings, that's super duper important that you go back and check out that content. Why? Because the important thing is that you build belief. Okay, write that down. Build belief. Build belief. If you don't believe in a thing, you'll never achieve it. If you don't believe it, you'll never achieve it. You'll never see it in your life, okay? And one of the biggest things that derail my students in the listing game is 2 things. Okay, I want you to write these down. 2 things that will derail you. Fear is the first one. It's a 4-letter word, fear. And the second one is its cousin, doubt. Fear and doubt. So fear and doubt will derail you. And the reason why you want to build belief is so that fear and doubt will never creep up. They'll never creep up. I was with a gentleman last week and we were hanging out. Josie and I were actually having lunch, and a guy walked up to us, as a young guy that we know, and his parents were with him, and he was talking about how he wants to become a surgeon. And the whole time his parents kept saying, well, we don't want to get his hopes up. He might be able to do it, but we're not sure. And yeah, we don't really want to get him, it's a lofty goal, but we'll see what happens. And this guy was like, look, I'm going to be a surgeon, okay? So instead of building up his belief, the parents were, unbeknownst, they really didn't know, it's a mindset thing, but they really didn't realize that what they were doing was they were actually bringing down, or they had the possibility of bringing down his belief. So this is the succession. When you're thinking about going into the listing game, fear and doubt will creep in. What do you mean you think you're going to be a listing agent? You're not. Don't you know who you are? You better focus on buyers. Focus on buyers for 3 years, and then you can maybe focus on listings. Okay? These are the self-limiting beliefs and the kind of beliefs that I've heard circulating in this industry. And the reality is, you can start focusing on listings from day 1. Okay? From day 1. When I first got my license, okay, I focused on listings from the very beginning of my career. I took 21 listings in my first 74 days in the business, and I went on to take over 1,000 listings during my first 10 years in the business. And this course, this 4-part course, is all about teaching you exactly what I did, how I did it. So the very first thing is that we want to build your belief. So we go from doubt and fear to belief, okay? And once you start doing it, you'll go into knowing. You're like, I know I'm a listing specialist. I know I got what it takes to succeed at this, okay? And then from knowing, you go into being. You become a listing specialist. And we're gonna talk about that today when we talk about how to reach your listing goals. We're gonna go into the goal calculator that I've put together, which each of you will get a copy of. So you'll be able to have your own goals calculator so that you can calculate your goals and tweak them and change them and make sure that you hit your goal, your numbers. Then we're gonna, next week we're gonna talk about the top tools of a listing specialist. You better believe it, if you wanna succeed at this game, you gotta if you wanna play with the big boys and the big girls, you gotta have the tools that we have, right? So we're gonna get into that. And then lesson 4 is really all about how to generate listing leads. That's what everybody wants. I'm gonna break it down to you. It's easier than you think, a lot easier, in fact, than you think. And by the way, let me just say this so you'll know, those of us that are mega listing agents, we want it to look hard for those of you that aren't. Okay, I'm giving you guys my secrets. I don't know what else to say. Uncle Knolly's bringing it to you straight. Okay, you know, the reason why we do stuff like we wrap our SUVs with our picture and our images, and we have these fancy tools and you know, pre-listing packages and all this stuff, is because we want to look slick, we want to look sharp, and a lot of times we want to make the competition believe that they can't touch us. Like MC Hammer said, you can't touch this. That's what we want you to believe. But the truth is, you can do this, guys. You know, I'm going to show you how. So don't worry about it. You got this.